Hello guys, I'm on the PTR right now. New build went up today. And in this video I'm just mostly going to talk about some of the items. I'm going to go over the items from Nighthold in the dungeon journal here. Just like take a look at the trinkets, the tier, like the stats, just to kind of see a general goal of what we're going to be going for. The relics as well. I uploaded the relic talk video earlier today, or yesterday, or whatever. So first I'm just going to really quickly show the Nether Shards that you get from doing Broken Shore content. I'm on the Broken Shore. I'm lagging on the Broken Shore. FPS issues when I look that way. They cost about 5,000. Now these are the pieces that you would get on, like your alt or whatever to fill in a slot if you need a piece of gear. I actually don't know what item level these turn into, like 870 or something along those lines, but pretty much these have also the chance to turn into a legendary. So this will be like your legendary thing, like hey, if I really want the legendary helmet or whatever for the Shaman, the Bloodlust helmet, then, if you don't need any other piece of gear, you can just spam buy the hood with all your Nether Shards. They cost 5,000 right now. I have like 200. I don't know how much you can get or how fast, really. I haven't really done that, but anyways, let's go into the main point of the video. Going to be talking about the loot. I'm just going to be looking at Mythic here. I need to look at a way that I'm not going to lag too. So, I think we start off, we have a Storm Relic. This Storm Relic, I believe, the Elemental Destabilization, which is our new 4-point trait, I think that is our best relic, our best trait now. Real quickly, I just want to, it's this one right here, increase the effectiveness of Elemental Fury by 20%. And Elemental Fury is your damaging critical strikes deal. It's baseline 250% damage instead of the usual 200. So it's 270. This, unless the math is wrong or if it's adjusted, seems by far our strongest trait. Because if you look into the old best Lava Imbued is 3% damage to your Lava Burst. This is just straight up 5% extra crit damage to all of your critical hit things, which does include Lava Burst. So since your Lava Burst will generally always crit, it's going to be doing 5% extra damage compared to Lava Imbued, which is a 3% per trait. Unless my math is really weird or something, this seems by far our best relic. So the first boss, Goroth in Tomb of Sargeras, he drops our Storm Artifact Relic with Elemental Destabilization. There are no second traits on relics anymore, at least as of the newest build, so don't gotta worry about that. Also, I want to just show the model. I guess I'll show the model of the bosses. He's like a little infernal pit lord type guy. So we have Elemental Destabilization, and then we have a Haste Mastery Cloak. We have a Crit Haste Wrist, and we have a Crit Mastery Belt. So this belt, assuming I'm going to base all this off of our stats saying generally the same. So if Crit Mastery is still our best, I'm kind of going to be looking at tier pieces, and we'll go over in this video and decide probably the 4 tier pieces you're going to want to use. So next boss, let's go ahead and give him, I need to click on the right thing. He's yeah, he's just kind of a guy, and he has one of these like jailer guys with him. Cool. So here's our tier helmet. Go ahead and put the tier helmet on. It's the mythic tier helmet. Haste Mastery. Seems cool. Alright, we have a Haste first neck. Probably pretty shitty for us. We have Crit Haste shoulder. It's the Hunter tier lookalike. Some interesting stuff there. And then we have the legs. Haste Mastery legs. So nothing too exciting off this boss. You have the, your tier helmet, which will probably be valuable. Alright, so our first Frost Relic of the raid is from Jaeden. Let's click on the guy. He's a Naga Brute boss, and he just has some little shitty Murloc ads. Hopefully, perfect timing for Chain Lightning on those ads. Could be a good boss for us. So yes, anyways, it is a Ground Trembles Relic, Earthquake damage, Frost Relic. Not that impressive, honestly. I would assume there's definitely a better Frost Relic. So we have a Crit Mastery chest. So a chest could be one of our best off pieces, just for the fact that we can get a Crit Mastery off piece. I don't know what stats the actual chest has on it though. Alright, Verse Mastery gloves for a tier. Heavy on Mastery. Not too bad, but versatility is kind of bad for us. Haste Mastery Boots, so not bad. Haste Mastery Ring. Some of these items may not be fully determined yet on like what stats they have. Alright, and here is our first trinket. So it's an int trinket, and it's an on use. While you remain stationary, you gain 439 haste every 1 second, stacking up to 10 times, lasts 20 seconds. So let's see here. 2372 haste. So it's pretty much equivalent to the Metronome and Whispers in the Dark if they were the same item level. Except it gives you a bunch of haste every 1 second, stacking up to 10 times. So it'll be like 4390 haste, lasting 20 seconds. So if you look into, if things stay the same, God, I can't even speak, you would normally pop your Ascendance about 5 seconds into a fight, because you would have you open with Elemental Blast, you Flame Shock as soon as combat starts, you do 2 Lava Bursts, then you Flame Shock again, then you pop Ascendance. So I'd imagine with this, you would pretty much pop this right on the pole, assuming you're able to stand still. And it'll just give you the haste. By the time you start Ascendance, you'll have 5 stacks, and then you'll work your way up to 10 stacks, and you'll have all your stacks. And 4300 haste is pretty valuable. It's a minute 30 cooldown, so assuming you use it on pull, and then you use it pretty much right when it comes up, it'll be up pretty much again right just in time for your Ascendance. So the timing works out pretty well on this. This trinket seems okay, I think. I don't think it's bad. I know haste is not the best stat for shamans in general, but I personally feel that haste is extremely valuable during your Ascendance window. And since this will always line up with your Ascendance, I think this is actually a pretty strong trinket for Ascendance, assuming that Ascendance as a spec or as a talent is worth using. Which, who knows with the tier. The tier bonuses, Ascendance probably has more value due to reducing the cooldown of Fire Elemental more than the other talents can do for you. Alright, so let's do Sisters of the Moon. Got a cool little Night Elf model there. Another one. And another one. And then an ad. So this is probably just a council fight. Let's see what we got here. Alright, we have Shoulders. It's the tier lookalike. Haste Mastery. Yeah, most of these pieces are Haste Mastery, it seems, right now. Not fixed, but this is the first boss that drops baseline 920 plus item level on Mythic. Assuming things don't change, that'll be interesting. Crit verse Ring, alright. And a trinket. Let's see what we got here. So, Mastery. A very small amount of Mastery. It seems very under budgeted. Because the other trinket this is 5 item level higher than the last trinket, and it pretty much has half the Mastery as it had on Int. So this seems very weak so far. So the on use, call upon a spectral owl to attack your target, inflicting 6,114 arcane damage every 1 second for 20 seconds. Your ranged attacks and spells against the same enemy extend the owl's duration by 1 second to a maximum of 30 seconds, with a 2-minute cooldown. So, inflicting 6,000 damage every 1 second for 20 seconds, and you can extend it up to 10 seconds, so it goes up to 30 seconds. This seems like a really bad trinket right now, honestly. I'm sure tuning isn't fully done, and I hope not, because this trinket is really bad. It looks like does not look good at all. It does a single target damage of 6,000. Let's see, 6,000 times 10 is like 60,000, and then if it's 30 seconds, so it'll be times 3. So it's like, hey, here's 180,000 extra damage with a shit amount of mastery. It's pretty bad. I hope they change that. Alright, Mistress Sazine, or whatever. We got a Lady Vosh lookalike over here. What loot did she drop? Storm Relic. Chain Lightning. Not that impressive. Frost Relic, Call to Thunder. This is the nature damage one. Yeah, this is probably better than the other one that was earlier off of like the second boss. That was like earthquake damage. See what we got here. Verse Mastery Helmet. It's not very good stats. Verse Mastery Cloak. Not the best. Pants. We have Crit Haste on our panties. Cool, cool. Trinket Terror from Below. A shit amount of crit again. Equip. Your range attacks and spells have a chance to summon a behemoth from the deep. to swallow your target whole, dealing 191,000 nature damage split amongst you and all nearby enemies. That's weird wording. Does that mean it deals damage to you because you're getting hit by the behemoth as well? Regardless, it says split amongst you and all nearby enemies. That is a horrible amount of damage. I'm assuming that'll change. Right now, this trinket looks awful. Really, that best trinket was that first on-use haste right now. The Desolate Host, Storm Relic, Earthen Attunement, Earth Shock damage. Not too bad. The Elemental Destabilization, just straight up, currently is just way better, I feel. Like, again, unless my math is wrong. Crit Mastery Neck with Heavy Mastery. Alright, this is probably your best neck from the Desolate Host. I need to look at the thing too. He's like a Reliquary of Souls looking guy. Looks cool. There's a chick here. And there's a Fel Marigar looking guy. Cool, cool. But yes, yeah, so that'll probably be our best neck. Our Cloak, Tier Cloak, is Crit Verse. Not too bad. It has crit, but versatility is also pretty weak. So right now I believe Gloves and Cloak have versatility on them. But they also have our best stat on them. The Gloves have Mastery, and this says Crit. Alright, Crit Mastery Gloves. Alright, so we do have a Crit Mastery off piece here. So this might be our best here. One of our good off pieces. And another trinket. Shit amount of versatility. It's called Spectral Thurible. I definitely pronounced that wrong. Equip, your ranged attacks and spells have a chance to conjure a Spear of Anguish. After 3 seconds, the spear launches towards the target, dealing 123 shadow damage to all enemies it passes through. So I guess this is proof right here that not all numbers are finalized on trinkets, but I feel like we already knew that. I could see this being okay, but not really good for us, honestly. I mean, if you think about all the other trinkets, if the numbers were actually decent, they're like okay. But this is just like, you know, the trinket from like Iskar or whatever. Or there's another trinket in like Nighthold. It's something that like shoots a beam through enemies, and you know, it's generally not that great. It might be a good AoE trinket, but for single target currently it's pretty bad. I don't think this would ever be a good one, even if it stays the same, even with the numbers buffed, because versatility isn't that great and it's an AoE one. So let's go, Maiden of Vengeance. It's whatever that chick's name from Karazhan kind of look alike with some Fel on her. Cool, cool. Storm, here's a Lava Imbued. So if you're unlucky with the Elemental Destabilization, or if it's actually not the best, then here's a nice Storm one for us. Nice Lava Imbued. Frost Relic, Earthen Attunement, get some Earth Shock on there. Seems like so far Frost Relics are pretty weak so far in this raid for us. Alright. Crit Heavy Haste Helmet. It's the Hunter tier look like. I'll just show that real fast. Some Haste Mastery Wrist. Versatility Mastery Ring. Nothing too exciting off of this boss. Maybe a couple relics. Fallen Avatar. Got a cool little dude right here. And then Maiden of Valor. Cool, cool. I like this model. It's pretty awesome, actually. So loot, we have... Ooh, look at that. Crit Mastery Tier Shoulders. So this is definitely one of the pieces we're going to want. We have a Crit Haste back. And Crit Mastery Legs. Legs were Crit Haste on the tier. So right now I'm looking at... I think it was Gloves. What was the one from the other boss? Yeah, Crit Mastery Gloves. So right now we have Crit Mastery Gloves and Legs for potential off pieces. So if all the other tier are not complete shit, then those are not bad. So let's go Kil Jaeden. Does he have a model? He does have his model in. This is a sick model, honestly. I hope this will be a badass fight. Looks really cool. Dude, he has like a little scar in his eye right there. We fucked him up in Sunbow, man. Alright, loot. Frost. Molten Blast. So, oh yeah, and this is 925. Was the last one 925? Okay. So the first three are 915 plus. Then the next ones are 920 plus. All the way to Kil Jaeden is 925 baseline. Much like this current raid tier. Nighthold. So yeah, not the best Frost Relic, but you know, it's there. Ah, man. Haste versatility chest. That is pretty bad. I don't like that at all. It's quite bad. Quite bad. Crit haste gloves. Here's some crit mastery boots, so that'll be the off piece you want, especially since it's highest baseline item level. We have a crit haste ring. Not bad, not bad. And last trinket. Here's another one. Haste with an on use. Alright. On use, apply Insidious Corruption to an enemy, stacking every 2 seconds. After 1 minute, the corruption overtakes your foe, inflicting 192,000 shadow damage. That seems really weak. If they die while corrupted, they instead explode and deal 6,400 shadow damage per stack to all nearby enemies. So this is an interesting trinket. The intellect is great. Generally, so far this expansion, anything with your main set on it is a great trinket, at least currently. The on use. If it doesn't die, it seems really weak. I got disconnected there. So after 1 minute, if the target's still alive, it does like 191,000 damage, which is really weak, so that number needs to be tuned. But if the target dies, it'll do an AoE for 6,100 damage per stack, I believe it said. That could be good. If it stacks up to 2 seconds, it could have like 30 stacks, so that's not terrible. Again, the numbers seem to be a little off. His load screen is taking forever, by the way. Sorry for that. So it looks like our best trinket would be definitely that haste one off of one of the earlier bosses. Unfortunate that it's such a good trinket that it drops from the earlier bosses, so it starts at a baseline item level 10 lower than Kil Jaeden, or 5 than the rest. That's always unfortunate. Like, it's cool you get it fast, just like the metronome is, erratic metronome from Nighthold off Chronomatic Anomaly. It's like, yeah, it's cool that one of our best trinkets is really early on, but at the same time, that also means that it's lower item level than some other things. Like, it's 10 item level lower than Whispers baseline per difficulty. Like, the heroic one is like 885 compared to 895, which is unfortunate, but hey, what can you do? That's just how loot works right now. But that on-use haste trinket definitely seems to be our best, especially for Ascendants right now. The Kil Jaeden Trinket could be pretty good. I would imagine if you had like still a really strong Whispers or Metronome, that could still be better than these other trinkets with the current tuning. The current tuning on those trinkets is pretty weak. So yeah, this is an okay trinket. It's alright. Real quick, I'll talk about the new world bosses. The loot for LE Shamans, at least. Now, these drop 890 baseline, and I think all these world bosses, there's 4. I think they all spawn actually on the Broken Isle, or Broken Shore, I mean, maybe. So we have a Versatility Mastery chest, hooray. Haste Verse Ring, not that great. Brutalis, Crit Haste Neck. Crit Versed Wrist. What do we got next? Maleficus. You have a Haste Verse Cloak, Haste Mastery Hands, Crit Haste Boots. Some pretty shit loot. This is the chick. She drops a Lava-Imbued Frost Relic at 890. This is off the world boss. I don't know how often it'll be up, maybe once a month or something. But this could be a good way to get a Lava Burst Relic, if these are still really good. And / or if it can Titan Forge high or whatever. It also drops a Storm Relic. It's Flame Shock, but not that great. Crit Verse Legs, and a Crit Mastery Ring. So those are from the world bosses. Now real quick, don't want to go there. Tomb of Sargeras. Alright. Real quick, I want to look at the tier pieces that we'll likely be using and which off pieces we'll be going at, and that'll be the remainder of this video. So, first one is Haste Mastery Helmet, Heavy Mastery. We'll likely be using that. I'd say we will be using this probably. This is, of course, all assuming that we're not going to do some weird combo of like 4-piece Tomb of Sargeras and 2-piece Nighthold tier. At least because the 10% crit to Lightning Bolt, honestly, just as a 2-piece, feels pretty weak. It's a very small gain, probably would not be worth using if you have any decent statted off pieces from Tomb of Sargeras. So we'll likely be using the tier helmet. What other good things do we have? The gloves are verse mastery. We could probably use that because there's a crit mastery chest off piece. If you look at Kil Jaeden, our chest is haste verse. Don't like that at all. We can get, I don't even know where I'm at now. Crit mastery off piece chest, which will likely be better. So we use the gloves. We use the helmet. What else we got here? Mistress. Our legs are crit haste. We could probably use the legs. Desolate host drops the back. Crit verse. Not too impressive, but it's a thing. We do have crit mastery gloves here. Nothing that great here. Crit mastery shoulder. Yep. We have crit mastery legs. What were the pants again? I don't remember what boss they were off of. This is very rambly right here. I apologize. Trying to figure out this stuff, but I'm a little dumb. Oh my god, I'm really dumb. This is horrible what I'm doing right now. What is wrong with me? Legs are crit haste. They're probably worth using. So something that we definitely don't want to use are the chest. And then probably the gloves, I'd say. Because you can get a crit haste gloves, haste is not the best. But our other glove is, where was that? So we can definitely use this chest instead of the tier chest. So crit mastery chest instead of our haste verse 2 worst stats on the chest. And then the gloves. I'm really sorry guys that you guys have to suffer through this. Obviously I wasn't prepared for everything. My apologies. We have crit mastery gloves here instead of versatility mastery. So I would likely imagine that we use helm, shoulder, cloak, and legs for the Tomb of Sargeras tier, and then fill in the blanks because there's a crit mastery glove and there is a crit mastery chest as well. And then for some other off pieces off of Kil Jaeden, we have crit mastery boots. What other things we need to look for? A ring. This could be a good ring. It starts at a base high item level. Haste mastery wrist. It's okay. Versatility mastery ring. This is not that great. It's heavy verse. Probably pretty weak. Crit mastery neck from Desolate Host. This will probably be our go-to necklace. Crit verse ring. This might be one of our better rings. Assuming you don't want to go for like a 20 item level lower crit mastery ring. We have a haste mastery belt with heavy mastery on it. Off of Sisters, not bad. Haste mastery ring with heavy mastery. Haste first neck. Ugh. Crit haste wrist. Crit mastery belt off the first boss. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I'm sorry if you guys suffered through all this. I really just wanted to look over the loot and see what we had over here. But so there's a good trinket off of the third boss. Yep, third boss trinket. And we'll want to use helm, shoulder, cloak, and legs for our Tomb of Sargeras tier set. Is most likely what we're looking at. We want a relic off of the first boss for a storm relic. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for suffering through this with me, you guys. Hopefully some of these trinkets will change. These trinkets were quite weak overall, I'd say. Except that one on-use haste one. That one seems quite solid for Ascendant. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. If you like the stuff, if you don't like it, let me know. Hopefully Blizzard will adjust some of the things and we'll do this again in the future. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.